Welcome back, word enthusiasts. Let's continue with our vocabulary building journey. Get ready for a word-filled adventure. In this video, we'll explore fascinating words paired with captivating example sentences. By the end, you'll feel confident and skilled in using the power of language with flair and finesse. Here is the first word. Lurk. The thief lurked in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Social media trolls often lurk online, spreading negativity. The danger of cybercrime always lurks when browsing the internet. He sensed a lurking danger in the dark forest and decided to turn back. The mystery novel kept readers on edge with an unknown villain lurking throughout the story. Lurk means to remain hidden or in secret, to wait in ambush. Here is one more example. The sneaky squirrel likes to lurk behind the bushes and steal people's snacks. Ratiocination. Sherlock Holmes is known for his exceptional ratiocination skills. The scientist used ratiocination to analyze the data and draw conclusions. The philosophy class focused on the principles of ratiocination. The detective's ratiocination led him to solve the complex murder case. Ratiocination is an essential skill for problem solving and critical thinking. Ratiocination means the process of logical reasoning. Here is one more example. After hours of ratiocination, I finally concluded that the snooze button on my alarm clock is an evil genius. Gestate. The artist needed time to gestate his new painting concept. The scientists spent years gestating the idea for a groundbreaking invention. The writer allowed the story to gestate in their mind before starting to write. The entrepreneur gestated a business plan to launch a successful startup. Great ideas often gestate in moments of solitude and reflection. Gestate means to conceive and develop an idea, plan, or project. Here is one more example. Ideas gestate in my mind like overcooked pasta, a mushy mess waiting to be served. Dupe. The scammer managed to dupe unsuspecting individuals into giving away their personal information. He realized he had been duped into buying a counterfeit product. The con artist used elaborate schemes to dupe wealthy investors. She felt embarrassed for being duped by the false promises of the product. The magician's tricks were so skillful that they could easily dupe the audience. Dupe means to deceive or trick someone into believing something. Here is one more example. My friend tried to dupe me into eating a spoonful of wasabi, but my spicy senses were too sharp. Fledgling. The fledgling writer published her first novel to critical acclaim. The fledgling company struggled in its early stages but eventually found success. The young musician performed in front of a large audience for the first time, showing her fledgling talent. He joined a fledgling basketball team and quickly became one of their key players. The fledgling chef experimented with new flavors and techniques in the kitchen. Fledgling means inexperienced or newly developed, a young or novice person. Here is one more example. The fledgling stand-up comedian's jokes were so bad that even the crickets asked for refunds. Bivouac. The hikers decided to bivouac for the night before continuing their trek. The soldiers bivouacked in the forest during their training exercise. We found a picturesque spot to bivouac and enjoy the scenic view. The climbers had to bivouac on the mountain ledge due to worsening weather conditions. The explorers bivouacked near the river, surrounded by the sounds of nature. Bivouac means to set up a temporary camp, often without shelter. Here is one more example. I tried to impress my friends by building a bivouac made of marshmallows, but it melted before we could camp in it. Flux. The fashion industry is known for its constant flux of trends. The company's financial situation is in flux due to recent market fluctuations. Relationships can experience periods of flux as people grow and change. The political landscape is in a state of flux with new policies being introduced. The artist embraced the flux of creativity, allowing new ideas to flow and evolve. Flux means continuous change or flow, a state of uncertainty. Here is one more example. My love life is in such a state of flux that even the weather forecast can't keep up with it. Undergird. The evidence presented in the trial undergirded the prosecutor's argument. Education plays a crucial role in undergirding a strong society. The principles of honesty and integrity undergirded his business practices. Trust and open communication undergird a healthy relationship. The strong values undergirding the team's culture contributed to their success on the field. Undergird means to provide a strong foundation or support for. Here is one more example. I always make sure to undergird my pillow fort with the finest and sturdiest blankets. Safety first. Abut. The park abuts the river, offering scenic views. Our backyard abuts our neighbor's property. The new building will abut the existing structure. The hiking trail abuts the forest, providing a seamless connection to nature. The hotel room's balcony abuts the lively street, allowing guests to observe the bustling city life. Abut means to be adjacent or next to share a boundary. Here is one more example. My neighbor's taste in music perfectly abuts my desire for silence, it's a constant battle of speakers versus earplugs. Hoard. The squirrel hoarded acorns for the winter. He had a secret collection where he hoarded rare coins. Some people hoard sentimental items, attaching emotional value to them. The dragon in the story hoarded treasures in its lair. The reclusive artist hoarded their artwork, rarely showcasing it to the public. Hoard means to accumulate or store a large quantity of something. Here is one more example. My dog has a secret hoard of socks under the couch, and every now and then, he stages a fashion show with them. Trinket. She bought a trinket as a souvenir from her trip. The jewelry box was filled with various trinkets. He found a collection of trinkets at the flea market. The child was delighted with the colorful trinket from the toy store. She adorned her room with trinkets and knickknacks, giving it a cozy and personalized touch. Trinket means a small, decorative item of little value or significance. Here is one more example. The treasure chest turned out to be filled with trinkets that were worth less than the pocket lint I found inside. Refrain. She refrained from commenting on the sensitive topic. The doctor advised him to refrain from smoking for better health. He tried to refrain from eating sugary snacks as part of his diet. The teacher asked the students to refrain from talking during the exam. The sign politely requested visitors to refrain from touching the artwork. Refrain means to abstain from doing or stop oneself from doing something. Here is one more example. I tried to refrain from eating chocolate, but the temptation was so strong that I ended up writing a love song about it instead. Belligerent. The belligerent driver started yelling and honking at other cars. The two nations engaged in a belligerent exchange of threats. The child's belligerent behavior was a cause for concern at school. The team's belligerent approach intimidated their opponents on the field. The belligerent remarks during the debate hindered constructive discussion. Belligerent means hostile, aggressive, or inclined to fight. Here is one more example. My alarm clock is so belligerent in the morning that I suspect it goes through boxing training while I sleep. Knit. The volunteers knit blankets for the homeless. The close-knit community supported each other during difficult times. She learned to knit as a hobby and created beautiful scarves and hats. The spider skillfully knitted its web between the branches. Knitting and crocheting can be relaxing activities that promote mindfulness and creativity. Knit means to join or unite together, to make fabric by interlacing yarn. Here is one more example. My attempt to knit a scarf turned into a fashionable snuggie for my pet hedgehog, the trendiest accessory in the animal kingdom. Traverse. They had to traverse a treacherous mountain range to reach the summit. The river traverses the entire valley, offering scenic boat rides. The hikers traversed through dense forests and steep trails. The explorers traversed the desert, enduring extreme temperatures. The bridge allows pedestrians to safely traverse the busy highway. Traverse means to travel or move across, to cross or pass through. Here is one more example. I tried to traverse the maze of IKEA furniture without getting lost, but I ended up building a bookshelf instead of finding the exit. Transcribe. The secretary transcribed the meeting minutes. The court reporter transcribed every word spoken during the trial. He transcribed the melody of the song onto sheet music. The linguist was hired to transcribe the ancient manuscript. The software can automatically transcribe spoken words into text documents. Transcribe means to make a written or typewritten copy, to convert speech into written form. Here is one more example. My attempts to transcribe bird songs ended up sounding more like an avant-garde opera composed by a tone-deaf squirrel. Leeway. The project deadline has some leeway, allowing for unexpected delays. Negotiations provide leeway for both parties to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. The teacher gave the students some leeway in choosing their own research topics. The company policy allows employees a certain amount of leeway in determining their work schedule. Having a savings account provides financial leeway in case of emergencies. Leeway means freedom to act within certain limits, flexibility. Here is one more example. My cat believes knocking over vases gives her leeway to redecorate. Chaff. The speaker sifted through the chaff of the discussion and focused on the important points. He couldn't distinguish the chaff from the grain in the rumor mill. The friends engaged in playful chaff during their friendly banter. The comedian's routine was filled with clever chaff that had the audience laughing. The supervisor chaffed the employee about their constant tardiness, hoping to inspire better time management. Chaff means worthless or trivial matter, to tease or banter. Here is one more example. I told the corny joke to the cows, but all I got was chaffed her. Refraction. The glass prism demonstrated the phenomenon of refraction by splitting white light into its various colors. The optometrist examined the patient's eyes to check for any abnormalities in refraction. The underwater camera had to compensate for the refraction of light to capture clear images. The science class conducted experiments to study the principles of refraction. Refraction plays a crucial role in the functionality of lenses and optical devices. Refraction means the bending of light as it passes through a medium. Here is one more example. I accidentally wore my sunglasses backward and experienced refraction confusion. Everything looked like a kaleidoscope of confused hippos. Excise. The surgeon had to excise the tumor to prevent further spread of the disease. She decided to excise the unnecessary paragraphs from her essay to improve its clarity. The government imposed an excise on imported luxury goods. The store added an excise to the price of alcohol and tobacco products. Excise duties are levied on specific items to generate revenue for the government. Excise means to remove or cut out, a tax on certain goods or services. Here is one more example. My attempts to excise the burnt toast from existence only resulted in the toaster boycotting breakfast altogether. Voila! You've now expanded your vocabulary with us. We hope you had a blast discovering new words and their meanings. Remember to stay connected by subscribing to our channel and giving this video a thumbs up. Get ready for more exciting word-filled adventures coming your way soon. Happy learning!